Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 92 of Direwolf20's Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode series, where today we've got copious amounts of depleted uranium nuclear fuel. Yay! Hey, guess what I did between episodes? I found a clever way to get this thing cool enough to the point where we have plenty of cooling. How cool is that? Yeah, I said cool a bunch of times in a row. What are you gonna do about it? So if I got 32 EU, which is a nice quick craft, and we went over to this guy, you'll see that our cooling is a total net heat gen of negative 112 heat units per tick, which means that we have more cooling than heating. How great is that? Neat. So how did I do it? So I was looking at all the coolers from nuclear craft, and each of them have different rules, which is kind of neat. Like, each cooler has a different set of rules, and some of them have to be adjacent to other coolers, and some of them have to be adjacent to the reactor walls, and some of them have to be adjacent to breeders, and some of them have to be adjacent to, like, all these different rules around what you have to be adjacent to, right? To let things cool off, right? So, like, the emerald cooler must touch at least one active moderator, which is the graphite blocks, and one active reactor cell. Well, you're not going to have that, because you're not going to have that, right? Like, because the way this reactor is built, right? So that's, like, out, right? So what I found was the following, right? I managed to put coolers in the middle here, and these are the ones that I put, right? So we've got redstone coolers that replaced cryothium, right? So cryothium does 140 heat units per tick, okay? Redstone does 80. So you might be thinking, Direwolf, when you replaced your cryothium with a redstone cooler, you lost 60 heat units. You are correct. I did lose 60 heat units. So this is 60 less heat units than it would have been had we put cryothium there, right? Now, redstone only has to be touching a reactor cell, right? Which is one of these two blocks. So that works, right? But helium coolers must touch exactly one active redstone cooler and at least one reactor casing. So by putting a helium guy here, which does 120 heat units, right, we are now 60 heat units better than we were a minute ago, right? Because before we had cryothium, which was 140, we dropped it down to 80 by replacing it, so that's minus 60. But then this guy's plus 120, so we have a net gain of 120, right? And I also threw in the middle here a copper cooler, which has to touch at least one active glowstone cooler, right? Well, hey, guess what we have here? Glowstone. Cool. So the copper cooler goes there. And then I put another redstone cooler here with a helium cooler, and that is cool. Right, and now we put everything together, and we have a net of 112 cooling. Sweet. So I basically found a way to put coolers in that center column. Remember at the earlier part of, or the end of that last episode, I basically said there's nothing in the middle. I found a way to make coolers exist in the middle, such that we now have a net loss of heat. So basically, this thing can run forever, and we don't have to worry about heat. See? All the tick accelerating. Yay! Yeah. Oh, good times, right? And now everybody's a winner. See? If this were generating heat, this would probably be a problem right now. I don't think these things explode in a way that they do damage, but I think the reactor casing like turns into something gross, and I don't know. I don't know how bad explosions are with this mod. I don't know that it explodes or that it just is bad-ish, right? So what I want to test today, and some of this is going to be testing, so expect a dire death, right? Like, let's be honest, Dire's going to die in this episode. If this doesn't work the way I want it to, right? So what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm going to respawn at my base if I do die. So you there. You, let's sleep over here. So that my bed is here for now. And I would like to try that heavy shielding stuff. I'd like to teach you how to make that. So I basically need 4 of these, right? One for each piece of armor, right? So you, and then medium, and then light. Okay, so hopefully you can make everything I need you to make. And we're going to find out if this shielding stuff... Do we have all the resources for it? We're missing beryllium ingots. Beryllium ingots. Oh, we don't have beryllium dust. Where do we get you from? There's no ore for it. Andesite. Crushing up andesite. Andesite. What are we crushing up down here already? Because we're crushing something up. Right now, we are crushing granite. So we need to crush andesite. So we need an igneous extruder. You're making granite, right? You're an igneous extruder making diorite. Right. We're going to need another igneous extruder. Haha. Making... Wow, things are a little bit compact deck here, aren't they? A little bit. Dyer went a little bit too small on this little automation room that he created, didn't he? Just a little bit, a touch small. But we can make another igneous extruder. Right, shouldn't be too bad. Wow, okay, not great. Device frame. Right. What else do we need for the extruder? So we need 2 copper gears and a copper coil block. I think I saw an Invar in there. Is that right? Yes, I did. Woohoo! Igneous extruder. So you need, you know, water and lava. But I think, so you're diorite and you're granite, so we need you to make an andesite, right? Yeah, that's what you gotta make. And let's have you do none of that. Oh boy, look at this mess. Look at this mess, Direwolf. Direwolf, please. Haha! Now we're cooking. So that means that down here, okay, let's get conduiting. So your conduit is what? You've got pressurized fluid conduits, okay? So pressurized fluid conduits, item conduits, enhanced energy, I think is what we need. Yes. So you need power. I wouldn't mind you having an Invar kit, which might take a moment to make. And then a speed augment too. Right? Cool. Alright, so then you need on the fluids. Boop. And up is insert. Nice. And hopefully I am correct in thinking that you won't use lava at all, like the other stone types. Oh, you do use a little bit of lava. Look at you. You use a little bit of lava. Okay, it's a little... Oh, because you are on basalt still. Andesite, andesite, andesite is what we want. Yay, no lava use. Sweet. So then andesite's cool. So then we're going to need a rock crusher, which hopefully ain't going to be too bad on me. Wow, really? I might just teach you how to make a rock crusher, because it'll be faster to teach it how to make a rock crusher than it will be to actually make a rock crusher. How great is that? See? Like, I would have had to manually request a lot of things and put it all together. So while you're cooking rock crusher, let's be ready to... Right, you're over this way. A little bit of a tight squeeze in this room, ain't it? Right, so you will output on the right. You're going to need power here. Rock crusher is a work in progress. You're crafting uranium 238s. Cool. So yeah, remember we needed a lot of this stuff for something. So, and luckily we have like a healthy amount of uranium at this point. So you should be good now, and you're making that stuff. Cool. Just give me a little bit of a help there, would you? Oh, maybe not a good idea. I wanted you to, like, you know, be a little bit quicker. Now we have to wait for this to time out. Maybe 1 tick acceleration would be enough. And we have to be ready for the next setup, which is going to be the extraction of this stuff. Come on, 30 seconds pass already. Thank you. And if I needed to, right? But beryllium, albumin, dusts. Dusts. So we basically want 3 drawers locked without void upgrades, but what we want is flint downgrades, right? So we want that. Flint downgrade. You know, and maybe you can have 3 stacks of the thing I know I want. All right, so with you in the offhand, Mr. Key. Okay. And then you give me the dusts that I need. Okay, and then the downgrades. And beryllium, I know we want some of. I don't know if these are used for much, and if they are, then I'll just, you know, bump them up at some point in the future. Now, how did I do the other ones? Did I void upgrade the extra things? Yeah, so we stopped on fluorite, but we void upgrade the others, right? In fact, instead of having downgrades on you guys, we just had void upgrades on you guys. Right? So you'll store a bunch of it, and then you'll start voiding beyond that. So that works. Cool. And you will store up to 3 stacks worth, and then stop, and you'll back stuff the machine here. Right? Did I teach Nuclear Craft how to make the upgrades? I did. So can I get like 10 of you and 10 of you? Is that too much to ask? Shouldn't be. Cooking, 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 cooking. Nice. That's pretty good. Okay. So put these guys away, and then we just need to extract on the same channel, which is brown. So you are going to be extract on brown, always active, which should start filling these drawers up. Yay, beryllium. Hooray, we've got beryllium now. Cool. Today we got that hooked up and working. So now we just need to teach you how to make beryllium ingots. Right? And that is just smelt beryllium dust. Which, remember, smelting is the problem, child, at the moment. Mr. Smelts poorly. I wonder if what I should do to make my life a little bit easier would be to get another alloy smeltery. Would that be impossible? How bad of an idea is that? Furnace and cauldrons? Because you can smelt all day long, right? And capacitors, you could get me an octadeck, right? Missing charged draconium blocks. Oh, alright, now you can get a double layer. That should be enough anyway. Because remember how fast these things are? Like, they smelt super quickly. Because we've got the room over here for this, right? So we can do you. Alloy furnace. Alloy smeltery. Sweet. Okay, so you're an alloy smelter. And you're currently doing 5 of 8 channels, right? So if I pop you down with this thing and put you in furnace-only mode, and you could accept from the top and in out from the bottom, then you can have interfaces here ready to go with patterns ready to work. Right? You just need power. Nice! I mean, I almost want to just move all these things over there at this point, right? Because, like, how great is that? Because that's really fast. So I can put away all this coolant stuff and all the other stuff that we've got going on. I was trying different coolers to figure out how they all worked, right? So I might just take you guys out and put you in this thing because it's that much faster, right? And now we've got easy access to more slots. I like it. I like it, right? Not too shabby, right? So now, right, if we were to get 4 of you, that shouldn't be a problem, and any smelting is going to go just that fast. Wow. Wow. That is pretty awesome. How great is that? So, all right, guys, so here's the deal. I've gone ahead and added the heavy stuff to my armor here, and you're just going to have to take my word for it that I did it, right? So I added the heavy dudes. I don't see any way of indicating that they're there, but they're there, right? Heavy radiation shielding has been applied. Now, that, in theory, is going to protect me against the nuclear craft fuels. It's not necessarily going to protect me against industrial craft fuels. It would be great if it did, right? And I don't think that there's any way to make that happen, right? Like, we can put the airtight seal on it and whatnot and all these other enchantments and stuff. But, like, I don't think there's any way to, like, make this guy... We can upgrade him to a quantum bodysuit, which may or may not... And I think we already have some quantum... Yeah, we have the helmet and the boots. And do they charge? They do. So that's neat. So if I wanted to, I could put that armor on at some point, which is pretty good armor from what I remember. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is, the reason that we set all this up just now is that we wanted to test to see if we can hold enriched nuclear fuel while wearing the good armor, right? So what I'm going to do... Can I make an armor stand? Yes, armor stand, cool. All right, so let's put you there. Let's put this stuff on there. Oh, that's cool looking. Now, if I'm wearing you, can I shift click? Oh, look at that. Nice. All right. I love it. All right, so right now I'm wearing this armor, right? So let's demonstrate this without any armor on, right? So without any armor on, if I hold depleted uranium fuel, does it kill me? No. Okay. If I hold enriched uranium fuel. Okay, yes, it does. Oh. Really, really fast. Really, really fast, it kills you. Okay, cool. Today, we learned. All right, so that is super fast. That is good times. Okay. Not the end of the world. Right, so now then the question is... If I'm wearing this stuff, which has the heavy protection on, it'll probably protect from uranium from nuclear craft, but probably not this one, correct? Correct. Not a problem. So then what we'll do... Oh, it's funny how fast that kills you. Uranium bad. What can I say? Is we'll just keep... that on there so that we can hold this stuff and we're good. And when we're done doing this stuff, we can shift right click you and we're back to good armor. Does that seem fair? I think that's fair. All right, so we've got this stuff. Let's figure out how to process it. Does that sound like a good idea? I think that's a good idea because we've got like a stack of it. Sweet. Yep, we've got a stack of it to be sure. Nice. So let's process it into plutonium stuff. And then we'll figure out how the rest of the stuff comes, right? So you in a fuel reprocessor. Fuel reprocessor. Okay. So how about I just teach you how to make one? Because it'll probably, again, be easier than crafting one by hand. Right? Start. Sweet. No idea how much power this is going to take. Right? What I'm thinking I'll do... We'll automate this at some point somewhere along the line. We're definitely going to want that. Right? But we're going to need more flux points. Give me like 10 of those bad boys. Which should happen pretty quickly. The rest can autocraft like the good flux points that you are. Fuel reprocessor. Picking up the pieces. So let's put you over here. And you know what else? Let's get the upgrades from nuclear craft. Those are fast to make. These are not quite as fast to make, but still pretty good. How's environmental tech doing, by the way? Oh, hey, Chironite, we're at 155. When we hit 200 of that, we should be good for the next tier of Void Ore Miner. And we still have to do the the other one, but I think we can skip right to like a tier 2 or 3 resource miner if we want to. But let's pop you here. Let's pop you there on the generator, the Direwolf 20 network, you and you, right? So now you have a process power of 12,000 R per tick. So I drop these guys in, and wow, that's nice and quick. I love it. And look how much uranium-238 we're getting back. How great is that? And plutonium for days. All right, maybe not necessarily for days. But now what we want to do is make MOX Fuel, right? And we're going to find out if MOX Fuel, right? So this comes from reprocessing depleted MOX Fuel, which needs MOX nuclear fuel, which needs uranium-238 or uranium ingots. And uranium-238 we get... Well, we just got that from our depleted uranium. All right, cool. So we should be able to get MOX Fuel from this. So let's do this, and that should get us quite a bit of that. And then you're going to be this guy. And you're going to get me 2 MOX Fuel. Right? So then you... So this has a decent amount of heat production. And this MOX Fuel looks like it lasts a long time, too. So he might be a problem with our heat level. Right? Because MOX... Turn you off for a sec. Lasts a base duration of 82 minutes. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of minutes. MOX might not be the route I go now. I might have just changed my mind really fast. It takes you an hour and 20 minutes to do that? That is shenanigans. I see 2 MOX. And the heat's pretty serious business, right? So if I were to take... So just curious, right? If I took this out, what would that do to my heat and whatnot? So that lowers my net heat, to be fair. Now, you need to be touching what, cryothium coolers? I think you need to be touching 2. I don't think my cryothium coolers work anymore. Yeah. Okay. But you're going to take like a really long time. Even with tick accelerating, it's a good time, right? That's not too bad, though. Do we feel like that's actually taking 82 minutes? Is it 82 minutes if there's only 1 reactor cell in there? That might be it. I mean, granted, we're tick accelerating quite rapidly, but that didn't... Like, this is, I think, at best... So it's 2, 4, 6... 2, 4, 8. Okay, maybe. I still feel like the simple uranium is probably the easier route to get lots of plutonium. Right? Because we don't need a ton of it. Depleted MOX now. And that gets us lots of plutonium, right? But how much did it go into making it, right? Because the MOX needed, right, 20... So what do we get? 1 extra tiny pile of plutonium out of that? Yeah, 100% not worth it. 100% not even a little bit worth it. Right? Because it took 27 plutonium to make the MOX fuel, and we got 28 out of it. So if you're looking at that from a, I want more plutonium, nope. You're literally getting the same amount of plutonium out of this as you do out of, like, the uranium fuel, which is a big old nope, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say nope to that dude, right? Nope with a capital N. Because if we come over here and look at this, we'll see plutonium. We literally have 2 more plutonium than we had before, right? So let's get another 64 of you. I'm glad that we, like, mathed that out. Because I almost was considering, like, how do I get a better cooling reactor and all this stuff? But, like, why bother, right? The way I'm looking at it right now, why bother? So let's get, like, 6 of you. And 6 of you. I like how I just, like, arbitrarily come up with how many of these upgrades we're going to pick each time. I don't have any rhyme or reason to it. It's just like, yeah, whatever. It's better, right? I feel like that's better. It's looking pretty good. All right, so now enriched uranium. You go, before we do that, let's put these guys back. I think this only affects heat and power gen. I don't think it makes it cook stuff faster. But I honestly am not 100% sure. Right, so now you're cooking, and that's cool. So here's a question. How much cobalt do you think we have at the moment? Because I did something off camera that I may not have told you guys. Hey, look at that, cobalt ore. Yay. I dropped a digital miner into the Nether. And that's going to be a healthy amount of cobalt production for us. So if we pop over to the Nether, we'll see that. I'm curious to see how my digital miner is doing over in the Nether, if it's done or not. But a while back, I think when I was building my extreme reactor, I was short on nether quartz. So I decided, let's throw a digital miner in here. And I think over here is where I dropped him. There he is. So see how, like, the ceiling over here, you don't see any quartz or ores? But, like, over here you see a bunch? Yeah, that's basically the radius of the miner doing its job. I configured him. Good. Nothing else to do? Good. Reset config. To do Y minimum 0, Y maximum 250. So anything from 0 to 250. And I threw an ore star on there. So you can see it cycling through. This ore dictionary filter is ore star. And it's just mining all the ores that are available. How cool is that? So let's just go another 64 blocks in this direction-ish, right? So right now we're at, I think it's Z115. So, like, I'll just kind of cruise right over to here. 180 seems roughly about where we want to be. Ow. Fire bat, please. Stop it. Yes, fly into me. It's a good time. Everybody loves fire bats. And wraiths, apparently. Start. There we go. 11,000 blocks to mine. Good times. And that's going to be cobalt, that's going to be ardite, that's going to be nether quartz, and all the other ores. Because there's a bunch of nether ores, right? A bunch of nether ores. Right? If we look at this, look how many nether ores. Look at them all. And I bet there's some mana infused. Do you come from any nether ore? Maybe there's not a nether ore from mana infused. Alright, so the one that we, you know, are kind of interested in. Right? So we know where to get mana infused ore from, so we can definitely go get some from one of these planets. When and if we need, you know, more than we currently have. But I hazard to say we are pretty close to having what we need for plutonium. Right? Right? So we need a Palus Chrysalis block. Sweet, you exist. Okay, cool. A couple of you. One of you. Dare I say that we are good to go for plutonium? Did we do it? And cyanite blocks. Dudes! Dudes! Plutonium, we did it! Look at that! We did it! I didn't even realize we were that close to having it. That is awesome. And that's not terrible. Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. I don't know if that's a gate for Draconic, but, like, at this point, we can make a draconic core, right? Does that mean we're cool to make one of these? Pretty cool. Probably next episode kind of thing. All right, how about this? For now, that was 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time. I'm assuming environmental tech will be in a better position for us, right? Yeah, he's super close, Chironites. So hopefully we can get a tier 3 ore miner going there. And as we get better and better ore miners, we can worry less and less about, you know, other dimensions and stuff. Because I'm assuming that things like mana infused ore can be void ore mined. Yes, it can. Even starting at tier 1. So how cool is that? Nice. All right. So for now, though, I'm signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll continue to process uranium like this into this. That can then make plutonium like that. And that's pretty cool, right? And then we've got the stuff for the things. So I'll have to teach it how to make plutonium, because I know we're going to need a lot of that. Right? So lots of auto crafting and automation in our future. But the foundations of what we need to do are here. Right? I think that's a fair assessment. That the foundations of what we need to do are here. We have some uranium nether ores, by the way. And we have lots of uranium ingots, which is cool. We are auto-processing other uranium. Can you be sent through the processor? You can be alloy smelted into 2 uranium ingots. Well, that's interesting. So you're telling me if I came down here and dropped you into an alloy smeltery, what we should expect to see is you turn into uranium ore, which then automatically kicks it over to here. That gets export bust into this guy. I like that. That is cool. All right, for now, that was my signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time. You know what to do. Take it easy.